Yes, God, honey, it's Miss Laganja Estranja from RuPaul's Drag Race Season 6. And today I'm here to get sickening with the one, the only, Miss Sugarpill Cosmetics. So if you want to see how I got this look, stay tuned and stay sickening. Oh, So I've already done my base and my contour and a little bit of highlights, and I'm gonna get into the eyes, and then we'll go back and add to the foundation, if you will, because a strong house equals a established empire. So here we go. So starting at my natural baseline of my brow, and then angling up. So my name, Laganja Estranja, comes from my huge admiration for marijuana. Yes, that's right. She's a cannabis smoker. And when I was in college, I had a friend by the name of Marquita Velveeta, and I loved the way his name rhymed. So when I created my name, Laganja, I had to find a word that rhymed with it, and Estranja rhymed with it, and it also kind of reminded me of like étranger, which is like a word they would say back in Paris is burning. So I kind of stuck with it and it became the strange weed. My character is known for her wild moves, her death drops, her pot smoking, and hopefully her love of dance, because I am a choreographer when I'm not being a drag queen. Well, since Drag Race, my life has completely changed. I've been able to fully financially support myself through my art form. So I feel very proud, very accomplished, very thankful. I've traveled the world. I've started an international heels technique class known as Laganja's Dance School. I've made music, collaborated with incredible artists. And yeah, I've gotten to explore so many things that I never would have gotten to do had it not been for RuPaul's Drag Race. So even though the show was a tumultuous experience, I'm so thankful for everything that's happened, and I truly believe that everything happens for a reason. My Jeffree Star drug lord, and I'm going to take the white with my little Sugarpill pencil and kind of go in here and cover up these hairs and create a little highlight. And then obviously I'm gonna go back in, clean this up, add some glitter and rhinestones, and baby, you will never know she is a lazy queen. People always ask me how it feels to be one of the most quoted queens from RuPaul's Drag Race, and I always say it feels amazing. Hello, are you kidding me? I literally suffered a whole year after my season came out of people saying I was annoying and they hated the way I was talking and all of these things, to then finally having people accept me and love the way I talk and encourage the way I talk, and then other celebrities are using it, and now people are tweeting talking about like, oh, I hope you're getting royalties, which I'm not, so please buy my single on iTunes or donate some money somehow, okay? Because no, Miss Kardashian's not over here paying me every time she says oh cur, and neither is Cardi B, sweetie. So yeah, donate to a hoe. So I'm using Sugarpill in the shade of Taco to set my highlight. Now that my basic shape is on, I'm going to go in with some color and start adding some definition to my eyes. Today I'm going to be using the Little Twin Star collaboration with Sugarpill, and I'm going to be using the shade Star Ribbon. Honestly, I really don't know what kind of brush I'm using. I think it's like a nice round fluffy brush. This is what I was told to start with once upon a time. I was definitely a partier back in the day when season 6 first came out, and I was being shoved all kinds of free booze and other extracurricular activities. I just kind of got lost in it, and I became someone I was not, and I was doing things that just really weren't me or things that I wanted to be doing. But it wasn't until the drinking really affected my professionalism that I decided it was a huge problem. Being professional is something I pride myself on. It's something that I've always been, you know, since a young child. I was raised in the theater. I was raised to be professional, to be on time. In fact, to be early, because if you're on time, you're late. And if you're late, you're fired. And when I realized that my drinking and my partying was affecting that and my reputation, I decided to get sober. And I didn't really, you know, use anything conventional like AA or anything like that. I did get a therapist, however, who I saw for many, many years after the incident. And yeah, being sober has changed my life because it allows me to be who I want to be. It allows me to wake up in the morning and not hate myself, not regret what I did the night before. It allows me to tell my truth. I think a lot of the times people think when they drink or when they do drugs that they're like more truthful because they're letting their guard down. Well, I've learned to let my guard down without a substance. And I think when you can go out and you can really have a fun time just being yourself in your own body without something else, that's when you find true happiness. So I've been wearing color more recently. I like always did fish face with like browns and neutrals because I wanted to be a woman. And then one day recently, I was working on Work the World and I sat next to Kimchi and I just like got to see her like create her face from start to finish. And I was just like, wow, do you even know what you're doing? And she was like, no, I'm just going for it. And I was like, wow, this is so cool. You're like an artist every night. And then I realized like, oh, I'm like not an artist. I'm just like going through the steps and just like trying to create a face that's pretty to like standards. And so, yeah, recently I've just been like trying to play with color and, like I said, learn about brushes. And, you know, I feel like a lot of drag is how much you can learn and grow. At least for me, that's been my journey. I think that people find my character or find me interesting is because, you know, I'm the glow up kid, okay? I'm the girl who has learned to fall and get up again and again and again. And same thing with makeup. I mean, I've never really, like I said, been a professional makeup artist or had real lessons. I mean, my drag mom, Alyssa Edwards, showed me some things in the beginning, and I actually learned from a lot of people in LA when I first started, because I actually started in LA. So one of the very first queens who ever showed me how to do my makeup goes by the name of Alley Cat. I actually have no idea if she's still performing anymore. We used to work at a bar called Shetty's off Fairfax. It was like literally a hallway. I think 6 people could fit in the bar, and Amy was always one of them who was there, swear to God. And yeah, I just like began learning by trying, you know. In the beginning, I used to wear like crazy feathered lashes and do like green eyeshadow, and like I just like wanted to look weird. And then I went through this whole fish phase, and now I'm going through this whole like drag phase where I just want like PC lashes and rhinestones and colors, and you know, I just want to be a look queen. Now that I've got my blue shadow on, I'm gonna go in and just kind of buff out the edges a little bit so that it'll blend up more into the white. So my first time in drag would have had to have been 6 or 7 years old. I definitely loved dressing up in my mother's and grandmother's clothes. I'll never forget on my 13th birthday one time, I was making a movie with my best friend. And in the movie, I was in a dress. It was like a blue dress, and it reminded me of the dress from Miss Congeniality with Sandra Bullock. And I was supposed to like come up from behind the couch and like stab my friend who had a clown wig on in the head. Who knows why, but that was the plot of the story. Well, long story short, I actually stabbed him in the head just a little bit. And we freaked out, and I called 911, and the 911 people were like, what's going on? And I'm just like, oh my God, I'm in a dress. Well, long story short, they thought I was a woman. And so they called my parents and were like, you know, your daughter is at home. She stabbed her friend in the head. I mean, if you could just see and imagine this story going on. Yeah, sweetie, I was up in drag at a very young age, okay? I did not have the full tucktation on. Tucking didn't come till college. I didn't know about all that. So now I'm gonna take a little Poison Plum on a tighter, smaller, rounder brush and go in on my outer and inner corners. So when I was really young, I definitely didn't want to be a drag queen. I don't think that was even in my radar. When I was young, I grew up in musical theater, so I definitely wanted to be on Broadway. I always knew I wanted to dance and, you know, be in front of an audience. But doing drag was never really, you know, even in my lane. Even I didn't even really know what drag was. It wasn't until I was probably about 12 or 13, and my parents took me to see the show Cabaret, the musical, that I saw my first man dressed as a woman. And I do remember my immediate reaction was just like, oh, I gotta try that. I wanna try that. This idea of cross-dressing, and I loved the way that feminine clothes made me feel, even at a young age. I recognized that they, you know, made me feel powerful in a way that men's clothes could not. I also just wanted to say, you wanna be light with your brush. When I was first taught makeup, my drag mother, Alyssa, taught me to get that makeup on there. Sometimes you do wanna do a hard, you know, back for the back row, beat Black Swan makeup. But a lot of the times you wanna hold the brush at the end, and you wanna use like a light little, just like wispy, almost like you're wisping up eggs. Eggs, eggs, eggs,
he wants is eggs, 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 another dozen eggs.
So my favorite drag queen performer is Queen Bee Ho from Puerto Rico. She's a little bite-sized, mini, fierce cunt-de-loon. Vanity Love in Knoxville, Tennessee. And then my favorite drag race queen, oh my God, there's so many. Obviously my drag family, Miss Alyssa Edwards and Miss Shangela Laquifa Wadley say, what? But I also love and admire Latrice Royale so much. And of course, Sasha Velour, because I respect her art tremendously. So I'm going back in with my taco and setting that. So when I first started applying makeup, I definitely went for CoverGirl. And sweetie, it did not cover boy. Yeah, it was rough. But I definitely went to the CVS and just got like the good old products that I had seen up in my grandma's room. And I still use some of them today. I know y'all all know the good Aspen. Yep, love her, still use her to this day. I just started cheap, you know? I started with things that I could afford, and then I worked my way up into what I use now. For my base, I use Dermablend. I swear by them. It's a thick product, which I love. I love to feel caked. I love to feel like I'm wearing a full mask, sweetie. I wanna just show up to the ball like I'm done. Just Venetian ball masked. Okay, so now I'm going to take a little bit of my NYX Away We Glow liquid highlight. I'm going to just take a very small amount on my finger and tap that to my lid. And then over that, I'm going to apply my Sugarpill in shade Ghosted and tap that right over my liquid highlight. Cunty! I'm gonna go back with my little flat-ish brush and hit that corner and create a little bit more definition. Pretty! Okay, and I'm gonna do the same process now to underneath my brow bone. So again, I'm just taking my Ghosted and just applying it over that liquid that I just laid down. And this is just giving it a little bit more dimension. I really love this pigment for its kind of purple and blue undertones. And then I'm just gonna go back in with that big fluffy brush that I had before with the teal on it and blend everything out. We're just gonna go for a lovely drag cat eye. So Laganja's Dance School is an international high heels masterclass that I created with my best friend and business partner at the time, Kristen Lovell. And it is a, depending on the location and allowance, a 2-hour class where I teach people to let go of their inner saboteur and release their sickening abilities. Now it's time to get lashed and dolled. I'm going to cut up my Supreme Sugarpill lash and add it to my other Sugarpill lash to give a, you know, multi-dimensional, layered, feathered feel. So my favorite Sugarpill product to use would definitely have to be my Ghosted Loose Pigment. I just really love the multi-dimensional layers to the product, and I just think it's the perfect highlight for every area. I love to use it on my Cupid's bow, I love to use it on my cheek, I love to use it on my eye. I just think it looks great everywhere. All I did was cut up my Supreme and add it into my base lash just to give it a more feathered feel. So I've applied a nice thick white line of glue to my lash, letting it dry and get tacky, and then we'll apply and lift the edge up. Another little trick I like to do is take some glue on my finger and then go and touch my real eyelash on the inner and press it up to the other fake eyelash. So now all I'm doing right now is just going into the corners of my eye and darkening. I usually do this on Facetune, but since we're shooting in HD today, I thought I'd do it for you with a little makeup. But you just wanna go in and just blend those eyelashes together, sweetie. Gotta put that bottom lash on now. Because if you're not wearing a bottom lash, you're being a lazy drag queen. I just want you to know that, okay? So all you queens out there who, I don't need a bottom lash. Heidi Klum wears a bottom lash. Yeah, they're a centimeter small. They're almost invisible. But if Heidi Klum can get up in a bottom lash, baby, you can too. Bottom lash moment. Whew! Y'all can't take the doll when she gets lashed. Makeup gives me anxiety. I just want all of you to know out there, when I first started drag, that was my least favorite part. I hated makeup. I was just like, bitch, if they're looking at my makeup, they're missing the whole point of my performance. And luckily, they weren't looking at my makeup in the beginning. But you know, makeup is something that I've had to like really learn to love and appreciate and grow to just kind of like breathe with. When I would first get into drag, I would freak out. And I think because it's not my strong suit, it's always been one of those things that I've just like looked at as just like, oh, I'm not good at makeup, like, ugh. I've just been like learning to like have fun with makeup. And if you fight with the makeup, it will fight you back, I've learned. So that's why I say soft touches, don't be afraid to experiment. I always say if you're practicing and you're a beginning queen, you're just, you know, figuring things out, give yourself hours to get ready. I know you want to like think 3 is enough, but no, just block off 5 so that if and when your makeup goes wrong, you can start over. The more and more you play in makeup and you learn what works for your face and doesn't, anybody can do it. I truly believe that. I just believe makeup is one of those things that if you are interested and you do want to be a part of the conversation, then you can totally jump in at any time. Okay, now, I want to add some rhinestones. So pretty, oh my God. And now let's really get gaggy. Okay, so I'm gonna take my liquid highlight again. I'm gonna put her on my finger. I'm going to rub her out. And then baby, while she's wet, I'm gonna take that same glitter, pop her on there. So I've actually been focusing more on dance moving forward. And this year I'm super excited to announce that I am the recipient of a grant from Young Arts, where I will be creating a piece of artwork over my residency for 3 weeks in Miami. Once the art world really sees what it is I have to offer as a choreographer, and then also what I have to offer as a drag queen, it's going to be a match made in heaven. So now I'm gonna take some BUTTERCUPCAKE and pop it in between my blush and my highlight. So today's lip color choice, I finally decided I'm gonna go with the Kiki. Let's have a Kiki. I love, love, love the wand. This is my favorite wand. Ugh, like look at how easy that went on. So good. Well, all right, I think this is as mug-tacia as I can get. I mean, if I sit here any longer, girl, I'm gonna add a lash to the forehead and then the glitter to the chin, and it's just gonna get real big and milky, if you know what I'm saying. So let's go ahead and go get our drag on so you can see the full completed look. And here it is, the final look. Yes! What do we think? Are we feeling the colors? Are you ready to taste my rainbow? Giving you Effie Trinket vibes. I hope you guys enjoyed learning how to create a little magic with Mama. Yes, God. Well, I am Laganja Estranja. I hope you have enjoyed today's Get Ready With Me. If you want to follow me, be sure to add me on Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, all at Laganja Estranja. That's LAGANJAESTRANJA. Yeah, she's a mouthful. And don't forget to subscribe to Sugarpill for all the latest and greatest with makeup gigs.